I wanted to end with a last question. Now that you've created this powerful documentary, what outcomes would you like Sugarcane to catalyze?
Um,
Go ahead, Em.
yeah, I will jump in and say that we had a lot of goals for how we wanted sugarcane to impact people. And I'll just list a few. One was nothing short of correcting the record, rewriting history. That's something that, given how far the film has gone, um, we have changed that conversation in a big way with the film, which is really amazing. We wanted to get it to the highest levels of government, and we were able to show it at the White House in Canadian Parliament. So that was significant. And we wanted it to be a part of the education system. That's something that's being worked on. It's being shown in schools and being worked into curriculum across North America. And probably most significantly, we wanted it not only to catalyze a conversation in the United States where there was no parallel conversation really happening in Canada, but we wanted it to be a tool for communities to start dialogue for so many who hadn't felt ready or hadn't had the chance to really process what had happened. And I think what was so special about what we did with the film beyond our kind of bigger rollout is that we went on this what we called a res tour where we brought the film all over North America and most recently to our Aotearoa, New Zealand, to the Maori communities there who also relate to this story in a big way, and to see people and communities connect with the film, and for it to change things for them. The number of people who have said, I was able to forgive my parents, or my dad finally told me for the first time what he went through because we watched the film together, has been remarkable. And so, as Sugarcane continues to move through the world, I think that my hope, and I think our hope, is that it continues to help those conversations along. And that it also, even for non-Indigenous communities, helps people reckon with their own family histories and pain that they're holding on to.
Yeah, I completely agree with them on all of those sort of impact things out in the world, and I think that a huge part of it we've always understood also was that the film needed to have impact as art first and foremost. We hoped that we made something that told an important story and did it in a way that did the weight of that subject matter and the power of what we had experienced in going out to tell it and live it justice, and ultimately only time will tell whether, this film remains as a significant touch point in, the medium of documentary and the world of Indigenous cinema. But, regardless of whether people are still talking about this or watching it, down the line, I think we're really proud of what we made. And, I think we hope that it does achieve that kind of long-term status as something that people watch and revisit about this subject, and future documentarians who want to make verite documentaries, future Indigenous filmmakers, people who care about films that have actually something to say. We hope it's something that they go back and watch, and that it inspires them and continues to spark thoughts and conversations.
I hope it spurs people to create their own documentaries and to tell their own stories that they didn't think was possible to tell before you created this film. And for me, at least, I don't know if it resonates that way with you, but for me, the fact that you've been acknowledged by so many mainstream institutions like the Oscars and Sundance and all these other festivals is the fact that people are listening and that mainstream people are willing to listen to these stories now. I don't know if that was the case before, at least in the United States, but that is what it signifies to me, is that maybe finally people will start hearing the truth and with some kind of openness. And you both and your colleagues have achieved that. And thank you so much, not just for making this film, but for talking to us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you
you.
for the really thoughtful questions and for watching it so many times and all that. It's really lovely
It's a
conversation.
wonderful conversation. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
I felt dirty as an Indian all my life in residential school.
Look at that. It's all names.
When you're brought up in an institution like the Catholic Church, you have strict rules, and you went with their ethics.
I've been trying to find out what happened at St. Joseph's Mission.
Everything was so secretive.
My dad was born there. How did it happen?
It's not something that you want to open up, you know, it just keeps on damaging.
For decades, there were reports of neglect and children dying or disappearing from this facility.
2 girls drowned. Priests were moved around.
Why are they dying? Did they think we'd be stupid all of our lives, the rest of our lives, and nobody would ever find out these things?
Being sorry for something is just the first step. You have to take action.
We see the impacts in our community every single day. And we need to continue to hold each other up.
Julian, I ask you to open your heart. Our people are going to stand up.
Your story is someone who was abandoned, but also who abandoned.
You do know what happened with me, right?
I want to know the whole story.